Hey, welcome to Zach's Tech Turf and weekly download episode number 110. Before getting into tech and PC gaming news, I just want to thank each and every one of you who understood that Wednesday's video was a complete troll video. I don't want to talk about this too long and I don't have this scripted or anything, but there were a lot of people, literally hundreds of people who left some pretty raunchy comments on that video because you thought that I was serious with the GTX 1080 Ti. Make sure you watch the video if you haven't already. But guys, obviously I wouldn't do any of those things with a 1080 Ti. The 1080 Ti is back in my system. Like, it's a $700 graphics card. Like, I'm a very small YouTuber. I don't make enough money to be throwing away 1080 Ti's like that. So to everybody who was commenting like really nasty things about my YouTube channel, or the plethora of you guys who were asking me to give away the card, guys, like, I'm not doing anything with the 1080 Ti. It's safe and sound back in my system. I'm gonna keep using it. So just wanted to address all of that. I don't really let the haters get to me, but there was just a huge amount of people who believed that that video was true and it was just for entertainment purposes. Sorry that I wasted 3 minutes of your time. But I'm ready to move on. I thought the video was hilarious. I'm very happy that a lot of you thought it was hilarious, but it just didn't end up. I didn't expect that many people to give me hate for it. But yeah, anyway, on today's episode, I'm going to be playing some more. What am I even playing? Assassin's Creed Origins. When I give you this news, I got my cup of coffee right there. Make sure you guys let me know in the comment section what you're sipping on. Let's get into it. To kick off the tech news for the week, the RTX graphics cards have sort of arrived, but not in the style that we all wanted. All of the popular tech YouTubers have released their benchmarks for the 2080 and 2080 Ti, and they all pretty much are saying the same thing. The 2080 is about on par with the 1080 Ti, it's performing better in some games and actually a little worse in other games, and the 2080 Ti is definitely the new king of the mountain. The part about the RTX release that sucks is that Nvidia delayed the release of the cards to normal consumers like me by a week. I got an email earlier this week from Amazon saying that my 2080 Ti won't be arriving on the scheduled time, so that's obviously a huge bummer. I promise I'll get those videos out to you as soon as I can. Please be patient and don't watch too many reviews online that you don't want to see mine. Next up, for some scary news, Newegg announced this week that they were definitely infected with some malicious malware that may have stolen our credit card information. Newegg CEO stated, quote, "Yesterday we learned one of our servers had been injected with malware that may have allowed some of your information to be acquired or accessed by a third party. They then narrowed it down to people that purchased something with a credit card between August 15th and September 18th of this year. If that's you, then I would highly recommend checking your credit card statements or even just asking your bank for a new card. That's what Newegg suggests as well." Moving on, Gigabyte announced that they are stepping into the M.2 SSD arena for the first time by launching their new 128, 256, and 512 GB models. These M.2 SSDs aren't boasting insanely high read and write speeds like the much more expensive Samsung Evo and Pro lines that we all love, but rather Gigabyte is aiming for the more balanced market of price to performance. Their 128 GB model is starting at just $50 and can read at 1,100 megabytes per second and write at 500. I literally just added a cheap M.2 SSD in my MacBook D laptop that I reviewed earlier this year. Definitely wish I would have waited a few more days so I could try one of these out from Gigabyte. And to wrap up the tech news for the week, ASUS is also expanding their product line and they decided to jump into the power supply ring. Their new PSU is called the ROG Thor and it's the first consumer grade power supply unit that rocks an OLED power display. This display actually shows some useful information like the power usage your computer is currently using, and guess what? Of course they added RGB as well. The models that they showed off are a 1200 and 850 watt unit, and the 1200 watt will cost 250 bones. To kick off the PC gaming news for the week, that mysterious purple cube that everyone has been freaking about in Fortnite finally did something interesting. If you don't know, this purple cube has been rolling down the Fortnite map for the past couple of weeks, and it finally stopped and melted into a purple lake looking thing. I don't think we know much more about this. Maybe we will by the time this video goes live, but yeah, still waiting to see exactly what happens. Speaking of Fortnite, the most popular streamer in the world, Ninja, did I really need to say it like that? But yeah, he made it to the cover of the ESPN magazine, which is kind of a big deal. In the magazine, they talk about how much money he's making, which we all know is an insane amount of money, and he also confirmed his stance on not streaming with female gamers. Moving on, we just got word that Michael B. Jordan will star in 2 upcoming Rainbow Six themed movies from Paramount Pictures. There's honestly not much more to mention about this. Paramount announced that Michael will be playing in film adaptations to 2 of the Tom Clancy novels, which sounds like my perfect kind of simple action movie. And finally, to wrap up the PC gaming news for the week, I'm not sure how many of you are interested, but Lineage 2 Classic is apparently coming back in just a few weeks. I honestly don't know anything about this game, but apparently it was a super popular hardcore MMO back in the day, and it's making a return and still being free to play. Sounds pretty cool because the MMO world right now is kinda lame if you ask me. Well, that wraps up weekly download episode number 110. Now feel free to head on over to one of these two videos if you haven't seen them yet, and definitely hit that subscribe button because at some point there's gonna be an RTX video. I'm just not sure when that's gonna be. You definitely don't want to miss that video.